One day I was walking down the street with my daughter, and I had this weird feeling that, it wasn't weird actually, I just had this hunch, and I was like, I'm gonna walk away. I never usually walk. We were going to the pool, and we just walked a totally different way that we never usually walk. And as I turned the corner, who do I see but my friend Rob there. He was actually texting me. He had texted me, maybe several times earlier that day, and I just hadn't seen it, because that's just how I am. I'm not the best with the phone, but that's okay. Anyway, it's not about me. This is about Rob. It was an interesting conversation that we had, and I think he's an interesting guy. So there's really no agenda with this. We're just chatting. So feel free to join us. Maybe tonight you just want to be alone, but not be alone. If so, we're here with you. You're going to hear some outside sounds like water, because we're by the pool. And you might even hear some beeping as people may be coming and going around us. So you should know about that. But otherwise, sit back, relax, and listen to the conversation. Welcome to Loving Kindness Every Day, where you will hear everyday language such as 4-letter, 5-letter, or words that your mother might call profanity. Please be advised.
We're in a world that many never could have imagined we'd be in. Now, whether you want to say whether you want to focus on that from the point of view that these are very troubling times and there's a whole lot of divisiveness everywhere we look, or if you want to say technology is in a place that never before do you have more access to do whatever you want to do, is a wild place. My parents are quite old, and to make a long distance phone call cost a significant amount of money at one point in time, and now we can call whoever, wherever, look up anything. The world has radically changed in the form of acceptance to certain things, and it's also part of what is causing many divisive things. So I'm inspired just that so much massive change has happened, and then that sort of leads into what I do every day. And you mentioned talk about my tattoos. I only have one tattoo.
That's your only tattoo?
That's the only tattoo. It took me till I was 41 years old to go and get a tattoo. And I think it also speaks to change as well. When I was young, I grew up in a household that was pretty strict, and I can remember things being said about individuals with tattoos.
Yeah.
And I can remember the lecture I would get about how devastated my parents would be. And again, I don't know, it's just something that stuck with me for a long time. But the tattoo that's written on my arm is a little sort of diamond shape. Up top is just one word. It says breathe. It then says underneath read, write, walk, and yoga. And then there's a pause symbol. And over the last 3 years, I've kind of gone through some radical changes. When I was young, I was a pro skater, doing what I loved doing, traveling around the world, being an ambassador for skating. And then in college, so 22, 23, my sponsors sort of fizzled out, and I had a piece of paper that said, you have a college diploma, and the noise was greater than my will to do something I really loved, and I went into finance. And there I just climbed the corporate ladder, and I was doing fine, but I was also destroying myself with alcohol, masking. Like, I wasn't doing things I loved. I was in a relationship, but we weren't really helping one another move forward. It was a weird relationship, and then it became so bad that I quit my job, and like I was just a full-blown alcoholic for a year, 2 years, and just about killed myself. And then in that stupor, I decided that I was moving to Atlanta, and 2 weeks before moving here, I smashed my head on a coffee table and woke up in a pool of blood with my car keys in my hand, and I was able to decide that I wasn't going to drink. And for 2.5 years, I started on a new journey, and like I had destroyed myself so bad that the only thing I could do to like start to get back in shape, like I mean I was like 30 pounds heavier, fully like just bloated from alcohol. I could barely walk a mile, and like I was so out of shape. But like I also had a dog that I was taking care of, so the dog wanted to walk all the time with me, so we would just walk and walk and walk. And literally I started writing, started reading, and yoga became, I wanted to skate again. Like I hadn't skated in 17 years. And like I could skate down the road probably, but I mean I was an aggressive rollerblader, so I wanted to be able to jump off buildings again and grind handrails, which 2 weeks ago I did my first downstair rail in 17 years at 41 years old, so I was pretty juiced about that. And then that would have been 23, so that was like all the reading, writing, walking, and yoga. And in 24, I was talking about a book called The Art of Living by Epictetus, who was I think Roman slave. It was called The Art of Living, and I mentioned this to a gentleman I worked with named Pertouche, and he was like, let me tell you about this group called The Art of Living, which I was like, all right. So he explained that it was all about a breathing practice called Sudarshan Kriya, which is like a Indian practice, and that when he learned this thing, it changed his life. And I was like, what? Because I was like trying to think like what would I tell someone changed my life? And there's like very few things like that I would be like, this changed my life. So I was like, I gotta check this out. And I signed up for this class through The Art of Living to learn Sudarshan Kriya. And in that class, they also brought up that they taught Sahamji meditation, which is like the meditation of nothingness. And Sudarshan Kriya really, the breathing practice prepares you for meditation. There's also a yoga practice that prepares you for the breathing, that prepares you for the meditation. But I do tons of yoga, so like I'm not really huge on just like this particular, and I don't know it. So I found this, and through meditation, I've just had wild things come up. I mean, I mentioned like my struggle with alcohol.
Sure, yeah.
I also like used a plethora of drugs, and I mean, I got sober. I didn't drink for 2.5 years, but when I would meditate and do this breathing practice, I would, like with my eyes closed, geometric shapes and all sorts of colors, and then sometimes I would even begin to get flashes of images of things, like lying on a beach staring at a huge rock cliff with like a mausoleum on top. And again, I don't really know like what I'm seeing, so I can't tell. Like, I've seen images of people, but I don't know like who those people are. So I was just like, what the hell? Like, this is like I'm doing drugs, essentially. So going through the breathing practice, getting into the meditation, letting things come up and just pass through has brought an amazing amount of calmness to my life. And like, I'm still a very anxious, high energy individual, but the breathing with the other 4 things of 23 into 24 led me into like a pause, like to just let things be. I don't always need to be running from here to there. I don't have to grab my phone to take a picture of this or that. And the pause came to me maybe like a December morning or November morning. I mean, I'm up before the sunrise every single day. Like, I don't use an alarm clock. I've seen the sunrise for like 2 years. It's pretty dope. But I saw this amazing purple, pink, yellow in the sky. It was just like so incredible. And I dashed into the Airbnb to get my phone, and when I came back out, it was gone. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I just should have stood here and let this light like change and fill me. And that's why the pause, it's always been there, but like in that silly moment of thinking about like Instagram and wanting to like say something clever or some bullshit, like I missed what I was so enthralled by. So and it's sort of just been this layer upon layer in things that I'd love to tell you. Every day I hit these things. There are some days that I'm probably missing one at some point. Like, I didn't pick up the book, or we're always breathing. but like that exactly, the intentional, the practice. There's a lot of time that goes into these things too. So, those are my tattoos, and that's how I am sort of finding inspiration, I think was the first one.
Yeah, I love the way you think about things though, Rob. Like, did something happen where you were just like, I get that, obviously, like, we call it, we had this moment where we're like, we have to reset. Like, this isn't working anymore. Like, we're not able to like, put the Band-Aid on the wound anymore. This isn't working. But the way that you talk, even about like what you said about Instagram, where you're like, here's this beautiful moment, and I was gonna enjoy it, but then I went to go get the phone, and then I come back, and this whole thing is gone. But like, what makes you so self-reflective? Was there something that was like, you know what, this is like running on autopilot's not working for me anymore. I need to like take a step back and think about what I'm thinking about, think about all of these things.
Yeah, I don't reflect a whole lot as part of the challenge over that career of finance. Like, yeah, I might have climbed up this corporate ladder and I was doing all these things, right? I was buying a house, I was with a woman, we were talking about a family, but like, I wasn't really doing those things for me at the end of the day. Like, I was doing it to like, because I thought everybody else thought I should be doing these things. And the moment of reflection was literally like, I mentioned hitting my head. I had broken my nose. I had hit my head a few times. That was really the like moment of like, am I gonna let myself be killed by myself and just keep down this path, or like, am I gonna get my shit together?
Yeah.
And the more I started kind of looking at myself and trying to make some changes with myself, the more just the rat race of showing up at an office and playing in an Excel spreadsheet became just devastating.
Yeah. I feel that. It resonated with me the first time, like when we met, and you kind of shared that with me a little bit, and I thought to myself, like, I've literally been there. Like, I literally came out of a sort of very similar situation where I was just get up, work all day, being very successful what I was doing, just making a lot of money and feeling like, oh, well, because I'm making money, like, that's enough or whatever. But then I spent this time where I looked back and I said, well, like, the last 8 months, you've probably just every single day and had a 6-pack of beer and an egg and a whiskey every single day. So, like, are you really enjoying yourself, or are you like like what's it all for? Like, what are you talking about? You know? So it really did resonate with me, that, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe like a lot of people, they get stuck in it for like so long, and then you don't realize it, and then even me now, I was encouraged after our conversation. I said to myself, I'm going to start like a thing I do every day. Like, I want to start to slow myself down purposefully, because even now still, Rob, like, I will wake up back in that mindset where I wake up and I go, sit at the computer, work. Don't eat. Just drink coffee. 2 o'clock, I'm eating pizza at 5 o'clock to survive. Like, I can't live like that anymore. You know, I realized, like, this wasn't
but
gonna
at
work
the same
for me.
time, like, what do we do? The world has gotten weird. Like, I mean,
It has gotten weird.
like, there's so many organizations with so many people collecting checks. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, and I was in the same thing every day for years, just repetitively. Oh, I want to get more money. Oh, I want to do this. But what was I doing?
Did you ever feel like you had enough money?
Never.
Did you ever feel like the money, like, made you feel good? Yeah.
I mean, there's many things that make a person feel good, but
like, was it enough, I guess?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
enough. Money just is a thing.
Yeah. I know.
It makes the world go round, but, like, there's so much more. Like, money can't buy the feeling of a young lady interrupting a conversation to thank me for helping her learn to skate. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's better than any financial accolade I ever received, is someone being grateful that is a total stranger and sharing that with others.
Yeah. There's something, for me also, I feel the same way, where it brings more value to my life when I can, dare I say, like, give back. Like, you gave her something of yourself, a little bit, you know, your energy, and it's weird because it's like our society has us trained to, like, take, but sometimes I find, like, there's actually a lot more joy in giving, and, like, it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be things, it could just be energy, it could be time, it could be like, hey man, like, I know how to do this and you're trying to figure it out, let me help you for 5 minutes, or even, like, opening the door for somebody, and especially if you see them struggling, like, I don't know if you've seen those people, especially when you broke your leg, you've seen those people with the cart thing.
Yeah.
And I see them, and every time I see them, where they have the foot up on the cart, especially, I'm like, I'm gonna wait for you, sir. I know, ma'am. I'm like, the foot on the cart is the worst.
Well, and we talked a little bit about this, like, the unseen, right? And I mean, when you're out in public, how many people do you see on crutches with a broken leg? Like, you don't see a bunch of people out on crutches with a broken leg because it's hard to get around.
Yeah, it's hard to be outside with a broken leg.
And your legs, those people are gonna heal and they're gonna get back out. And like, we don't even know necessarily what people are in need of if we aren't trying to educate ourselves on the other things that are out here.
Like what?
So mobility is a big thing around the city.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, it's unbelievable how many places that like you can't access if you don't walk on 2 feet. Like, that's still, you can't get into via a ramp or something.
Yeah.
And that's even in a massive city. So like, when we start to get out into rural areas and things like that, the problem just gets greater.
I don't know why I forgot we talked about this. And I shared that with you. I said I had this whole idea that our country was like way better for mobility and our city was way better for mobility than it was, until I was educated about that. And it hurts my heart to hear you say it again. I'm like, oh yeah, here we are again, yeah.
Well, that's just the easy example. I mean, we see the drug addicts in the street every day, and like, that's a whole nother world. Like, if you take those people off drugs, they will die.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't want help. So how are we caring for those people? Telling them to get out in the middle of the road and ask for change before you get on 75, 80, 85? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm focusing on a lot of negatives.
But I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't necessarily know as a negative. It's just, for me, I guess sometimes I see it as a grateful thing. Because I see myself and I go, okay, well, especially in days when I have a hard day. For me, this year has gotten a lot better than it was before. It was a lot of hard days earlier in the year. And I would have to do things like, look at your fingers. You still have them. Be grateful. Let's sit here for a few minutes and just be grateful for the fact that we can do this with our fingers. How about that? How about that? How about you do that? And I would just be like talking to myself like that. And so sometimes when I see those things and I think to myself, yeah, like, what do they say? One in every American is like one paycheck from living on the street anyway. And so we see them and we assume sometimes that there's obviously quite a lot of houseless people who are on drugs. But then there's also people who like, I have a friend who was like, yeah, I lived on the street for like 6 weeks and then I had to figure it out. I had to like start my whole life all over again. Like, people, we don't know the situation that people are in, and we can always like choose gratitude over the fact that maybe right now everything isn't rainbows and sunshine in our lives. I'm sure you have problems. I could sit here and talk to you about my problems if I wanted to do that, you know? But we could also choose to instead be like, you know what, man, like, it could be a whole lot worse. And we could just choose to live in the light for ourselves for that moment. And I don't necessarily see it as a negative thing, you know?
Yeah, living in the light is a great way to say it. It's hard, yeah, but you're right. I mean, when we start to get sad about our situation, we can't help anybody.
I didn't think about that way. That's true.
You've already mentioned like sharing energy, and like, that's what it's all about. And people talk about like bad energy, and that entertains me because it's all just energy.
Yeah.
It may just be not being directed appropriately, but I mean, and how we impact others. Like, I know I've had negative impact on people. I know I've lost my shit with somebody, and like, that's not a good impact. So I don't know. I'm definitely searching for something. And I often have talked about how I need to see things. But over the last sort of 8-9 months, like, feeling and understanding, like, what's happening, understanding intuition a bit more.
I like that. Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to aspire to, so that I don't negatively impact people.
What does intuition mean to you? I like that, understanding intuition. So when you use that word, it can sometimes mean different things to different people. So I want to ask you, what do you mean by that in your sense?
So it's almost being able to see the future. Like understanding that what you're doing today is going to lead to these outcomes in the future. Being able to not direct towards that, but know where things are headed before they even get there. And I think meditation really helps with that. Like looking inside, understanding what's going on with you begins to put you more in tune with the vibes and the energy of what is around you, and enables you to make better choices to reach better outcomes, I think.
I'm going to go really off topic.
All right.
Just because I didn't remember. I don't think I knew that you were a professional skater before.
Yeah.
And I might date myself and say I grew up like just watching way too much of the Mighty Ducks. And I used to just really just... And I think there was a
Emilio
Disney,
Estevez.
Yeah, well, Disney had a like a street skating movie. I feel like it's called Brink or something
totally.
Like that.
There was Brink. There was Airborne.
Yes. Okay, so you're talking my language. Yes, these things. Was watching this way too much as a child, and just like being like a teenager. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do all those things. So I was like, I have a lot of scars from all the trying, but I want to ask you about that. Like, what was that like? Like, it just seems like I almost feel like a little bit of a fan. Like, I want to be like, tell me all about that. Like,
so skating back then was way different than skating today. So skating today is far more accepting. Like the melding of skateboarders and rollerbladers and quad skaters, that's still sort of relatively new. Like skateboard, like back in the day, like 80s, 90s, early 2000s, there was like serious beef between skateboarders and rollerbladers, and then like rollerbladers naturally kind of let it trickle down to like, oh, we don't like people on scooters, and you'd be at the roller rink on quads. Like you didn't really, or I didn't see them in many places, but I found rollerblading because of roller hockey. When I was really young, when I lived in Illinois, I wanted to play ice hockey real bad, and my mother wouldn't buy me pads. She was like, it's too expensive, we're not doing that. So when we moved to Pittsburgh, I started playing roller hockey in the streets, and hockey was big there, so I started playing ice hockey there. But a kid came to school with a magazine and was like, look at what these people do on rollerblades. And I was like, I could do that. And I could not do that.
I was about to ask you, were you doing those things?
I could not do that. But we ended up at the skate park and like had some rollerblades and like got into aggressive skating, but that's where I broke my leg too, in Pennsylvania. And when we came to Alabama, I picked back up rollerblading at like 14 because I knew I could do more tricks on rollerblades. And my parents were unbelievably supportive. They took me to contests in Detroit, Michigan. They took me to San Diego for some contests. Traveled a whole bunch. We competed with an organization called ASA. And then...
American Skate Association?
Yep.
Wow.
And then became sponsored by Solomon, which Solomon is now it's like a streetwear brand. They're huge in climbing and skiing.
Oh, okay.
But they made rollerblades, and I worked for them, and it was amazing. Like, I got to travel to France all the time. I got to travel all around the world to just skate. And, I mean, I thought I was a rock star, and I lost all my sponsors at the end.
You're still a rock star. Don't let it go.
Thanks.
It's still amazing.
And what we created an era called hammer skating.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
So, like, rails that go off the side of buildings that, like, have, like, 25-foot drops on the other side, like, doing stunts on big rails, which also kind of, like, it didn't kind of, a lot of people got hurt. And now it's kind of looked at as, like, an era of, like, oh my gosh, like, people were going so big, but as I said, it's sort of changed. You know, those sort of flare tricks and death-defying stunts, people sort of some people look at with an awkward eye to say, like, people shouldn't be doing that.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, there's many sides of this coin, and but it's hard, again, where I'm at today, it's funny because, like, I try and look to the future, that's where I'm headed all the time, but I'm really trying to exercise my past, that, like, I was this pro rollerblader. I'm here in Atlanta trying to start up skate school, which is where we're facilitating programs around movement, whether it's quad skating, inline skating, just getting kids up on skates. So, like, I'm trying to.
That. This is your time to shine. Plug that for us.
I mean,
I have a 5-year-old. She said she wants to skateboard. She said she wanted to go to skateboard school. I didn't know that was a thing. And I started Googling. So maybe
did you find one?
I did, but then, like, I didn't end up following through because I bought her a skateboard, and then, like, she got on it for like 12 seconds and then, like, didn't pull it out, and I was like, I'm not gonna take you to do this if you're not gonna do it. But maybe she'll come to your skateboard school and I'll just tell her just do it anyway. She's got skates. You know, I'm trying to get her to skate. You know that. You know I'm trying to.
So, but you're doing the right thing, like, just encouraging movement. Like, this is a big thing that I don't see us moving for life. Like, a lot of people may be active when they're younger, but, like, carrying through to stay active some way through your whole life. Like, for me, I can skate. So, like, going out doing that is, like, great cardio work. Not everybody needs to, like, aggressive skate at 40 years old, but, like, you need to be picking heavy things up. Like, you need to be exercising your muscles to some level. And I think at a young age, if we learn to become more active, it's just gonna encourage you to carry through something for your life. Like, I'd love to sit here and tell you, like, oh yeah, golf, that's active. Golf is not going to keep you from stroking out. Like,
I don't know, can I let you say that to me, Rob?
People hang out on the golf.
I'm not gonna let you say that to me.
I mean, I love all sports, but, like, again, my past has led me to the knowledge that golf will not help you in the long run if that's the only thing you're doing.
I don't know. Okay.
I think pickleball will help you more than golf.
That's so messed up. All right. So while you were doing pro skateboarding, I actually was really into golf.
Sick.
Like, a lot. Like, I did a lot of golfing.
I love golf.
As a youngster. And I will agree that the American system of driving the little cart and putting your thing on the bag and getting out of the cart and hitting the ball and then getting back in the cart and then keeping going, definitely not. But if you're going to do it the traditional way and you pull your little cart and you walk the course, it can be a movement for somebody, especially, like, in the older age or whatever. So I have to throw that in there.
Totally. And I will agree 100%. Like, it is movement, but also you were probably training in other ways.
I wasn't, though, honestly.
Really? You were just hitting the course and you were, like, hitting... What?
Like, when I was in high school, I played 4 years of varsity golf.
Nice.
And I remember, like, you see me, the basketball coach came up to me. He was like, oh, you're going to be on my team. And I was like, actually, I'm really bad. I'm actually very bad at that. I've been playing golf for a while. We've been doing this really successfully. And, but I mean, we were outside. I grew up in Miami, so it's hot out there. And you're dragging a cart or you're lugging clubs on your back and you're walking 18 holes. It's like, I mean, you could be out there for 3-4 hours walking. It's like the equivalent of hiking with a big bag on your thing, and then you're also doing an activity along with it. So maybe not, for example, you're not gonna, you're not gonna.
I want to
like
get
this.
your heart rate up a little more
Yes, I
than
wanna
on
get
the
your heart rate
golf
up.
on the golf course. Like I want to get it like zone 4 or 5
Okay,
for
yeah,
just
that's
a
not
little
gonna happen.
bit.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
might
gonna
get to 3. I agree. Up that hill,
No,
you
yeah.
might get into zone 3, but
No. But I was young though, as well. Like I'm closer to 40 now than anything. So like I probably was doing other things, maybe running around the neighborhood, doing other, like I was also skating, which is a very big deal for me still.
that will keep you in shape
So I was doing
for
all
anything.
those things. Yeah. Although let's say one of my mentors, who I call my auntie, she was playing pickleball. She picked up pickleball, so she's older. And then the first time she went out and played pickleball, she hurt her arm, and she was like out of commission for like weeks and weeks and weeks. Maybe like, did she break her wrist? I was like, how do you break your wrist playing pickleball?
My aunt busted her head open playing pickleball. Like it can be dangerous.
How's that even possible?
When's the last time you played pickleball?
Oh my gosh, I played pickleball for the very first time a month ago, and I loved it. And I said I was going to go and do it again, but I have not yet done it again, hand to God. But I had a really great time, and I thought it was fun.
So I talked so much trash on pickleball. I kept being like, what? That's an old person's game. We should be playing tennis. Like, tennis is what's up. But same as you, I played pickleball for the first time a month ago, and I was like, all right, this is some work, and the rules confuse me.
Yeah, with the kitchen and the no volley zone and the whole thing.
Yeah, dude, the rules messed me up because I was like thinking tennis, and like you can't volley. You have to let it bounce like twice.
Yeah,
like
it's the
that
whole
rule
thing.
messed me up.
Yeah, I know. And you do move around, especially if you're going to play singles. Doubles, I think.
I only played doubles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, try singles. You're going to feel a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually haven't played doubles yet. I have to try that. I just played singles, and I was like moving around, and I was like, okay, well, we've done this now. Let's go inside. Because I went down to Florida. I was like, I took a little, just get out of the house, get out of your heads. Because sometimes, like, with the energy, I find that it helps to, if I find a problem in life, sometimes it helps just take a trip. Just get out, change the energy, if you can, even if it's a day trip, just get out, change the energy. And when I come back, I'm able to have a new, like, fresh eyes on it, like a new perspective and whatever. And so I was having that, and I was like, I'm just gonna go on a road trip to Florida, blah 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 blah. So I did end up playing pickleball down there, and it was warm because it's Florida, but still I was like, wow, okay, this is a thing.
So that's a great topic about how like places hold energy, and like the perceptions that you've built of places can also contribute to that energy. Like I've been going back and forth to Birmingham every week almost for this entire year. I helped a buddy, he started a business in Homewood called Prime IV, which is a hydration and wellness spa. Literally, like you get hooked up to an IV and like helps with all sorts of different things. But like I lived in Alabama for 27 years, and like the walls I've built I cannot take down. Like every time I go back there, I'm just like this.
He sounded ugly. My joy is strong and healthy. Well, look at you now. You did it. You made a daily episode and so shared it with somebody. That's really great. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Until next week, I am wishing you lots of love and light and favor in all that you do. I'm going to close with a little bit more Rob and me. It was kind of fun. Thanks, Rob. It was good talking to you. Hope to see you soon.
Too much. And then I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I was like, no, this is for you. It's always good for you. So I'm very glad that you saw it and you're like, I know these streets. These are my streets.
So,
Things that I do. So I love that.
That's funny that you said these are my streets. So I was walking the dog. I have this loop that goes around Fulton County Prison. It's like 2.5 miles perfectly, and there's actually some skate spots over there. And a really famous Atlanta rollerblader named Tom Heiser, back in the day, had a shop called Skate Pile, big skate park, but he was hanging out with my buddy Richard. And me being the dumbass, I'm walking my dog, and I didn't know he was over there. I knew Richard was there, and I yelled, "Oh, y'all are in my hood," and just kept walking off with the dog. And like, lo and behold, Tom Heiser was like, "What is wrong with this dude? He didn't even come over and say hi, and he's like talking shit about this is his town. He's been here like a year and a half." What? So like, that's fun. I love that you'd say like these are my streets, because I love skating through the streets because you see so much more, and I love even more that it's a skateboard, because I've done everything on wheels. Like, I skateboarded. I broke my leg when I was 12 in 3 places, and I was like, I'm never gonna rollerblade again, and picked up a skateboard and skateboarded for years, and then I was like, I'm better at rollerblading, so I put down the skateboard. So all wheels are like, even I don't really know much about scooters.
I've done a little bit of scootering, but not very much. But it's funny you say that you broke your leg in 3 places, and then you went from rollerblading to skateboarding, where the last time I was actually over there on the West End skateboarding on my longboard. This has been maybe 14 months. I feel like it was last December. Not like it was like almost a year ago. Yeah, sure. But the one, not this past one, the one before that.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad that I said, okay, we're putting this in storage. Like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep my skin on my body.
Totally.
Like, I ruined part of my tattoo as a whole time.
The falls are what deter people from the sport. I mean, it takes a special individual to be able to throw yourself into the ground repeatedly and like keep getting up and being like, yeah, I want to do this.
That's the one, yeah.
Especially like now that I'm much older, like pads are important, especially if you like really are sort of unsure. I mean, when before you had this fall that same year, I broke my hip because I was doing a trick and like just slipped out and broke my greater trochanter, broke a piece off of it, and like could have been prevented if I was wearing hip pads.
Yeah, hip pads, yeah.
And I always skate with hip pads on, like if I'm aggressive skating now, because I can't be breaking out any more hips. All I got.
I know. That's what I thought to myself when I fell, because I was like, okay, maybe you're too old for this, and you need to just go in the house. You're not 20 anymore. You can just bounce off the ground. But
it's so funny that's the thought that creeps in our head the fastest, right? Like that we're older, and it's because we're older that like we shouldn't be
doing fun
things.
I know, it's crazy.
Mi satisfacción en la vida es fuerte y saludable. My satisfaction in life is strong and healthy. My satisfaction in life is strong and healthy. Mi favor en la vida es fuerte y saludable. Mi favor en la vida es fuerte y saludable. Mi favor en la vida es fuerte y saludable. My favor in life is strong and healthy. My favor in life is strong and healthy.
No, I didn't go to the workroom. I just went outside on the porch. Do you want to say anything? There you go. Eat that pasta.